make their head drop.
Thank you for tuning in with another episode with Off the Mat with Donny Whitted. We got a special guest in, very special guest, my boy Nasir Bailey.
How you doing?
All right, man. Thank you for coming in, man.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Now, of course, you know, you've been in the sport of wrestling for how long now?
Since I was 5 years old.
Since 5 years old. And how you got into the sport of wrestling? How did that all come about?
A big person that was in the sport before me was my uncle. Also, my grandpa, my dad wrestled also.
Oh, okay. Who was your uncle?
BJ Futrell. So.
A legendary twister as well. Okay. And his father, Walter Futrell, wasn't he a state champion?
Yeah, he was a state champion at Bloom in 1977.
1977, when I was born. That was a long time ago.
So.
And then you said your pops wrestled as well. Big Bilal.
He wrestled at Rich East. He wrestled JV. I mean, he wasn't great, but he turned out to be a great coach. So.
Oh, yeah. I understand those sentiments myself. So, but you have two other brothers. You have a little sister as well. What's their names?
We got Bilal Bailey, Nasir Bailey, and then my little sister, Princess.
Princess.
Yeah.
Okay. And your mom, what's her name?
Kizzy.
And y'all, so basically y'all a wrestling family.
Yeah, I mean, we everybody wrestled.
Everybody wrestled.
Traveled the road. That was what we did.
Okay. And then how do you end up on the Twisters? How did that work out? Because of your uncle? He started that path?
Yeah, I think he kind of started that path a little bit for me.
Okay.
I mean, my dad was around them when he was growing up.
Okay.
And he saw my uncle wrestling and stuff and the things he was doing, you know, traveling the rail and, you know, just the things that he was accomplishing and scholarships to college. And
right.
It just seemed like a good path for us, too.
Mm-hmm. And where do you guys grew up at?
We came from Park Forest, Illinois.
Oh, okay. That's where y'all born and raised?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. And you mentioned your uncle wrestling, getting scholarships. What university did he go to?
Went to the University of Illinois.
Okay. Wasn't he All-American as well, right?
I'd say 2 times.
Two-time All-American, okay. Right, definitely BJ Futrell, legendary twister. Shout out to him. Right now, he's an assistant coach at
I want to say Northwestern.
Okay. And now, your older brother, Bilal, he was kind of the first one that got his feet wet with the twisters, and it seemed like he was one of the little ones tagging along a little bit.
Yeah, so Bilal was probably like 9 or 8, and when we all started wrestling at the same time.
So y'all all started together at the same time. Yeah. Okay.
I was just a lot younger than they were.
Okay.
So it was a little bit different. It was a little bit easier for me to kind of catch on because, you know, they were starting at an older age. So.
Okay. And success came pretty quick for you boys. Am I correct?
Yeah, for me, I pretty much started winning as soon as I kind of started wrestling. But my brothers, they had a tough first year.
Okay.
And then after that, we was pretty much
rolling.
Yeah.
And I mean, I remember, man, I'm hearing about you guys. I always checked in on the Twist to see how they were doing, hearing about you guys and, you know, the things y'all were doing. And remember seeing Bilal. I'm like, man, this dude is tough. Out at Tulsa one time, and I really just started watching you guys. But now you guys rolling with the Twisters, and you said success hit you pretty early. But when did you really know wrestling was it? Did you know that out the gate? You loved it?
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I love wrestling since I pretty much started. I mean, it was hard, but other than that, the winning piece, I was always winning, so it was just something I love to do.
Right.
My second year, I want to say I pretty much went like undefeated, or I probably lost one match the whole year.
Wow, your second year wrestling, wow.
And that's when I knew. I was like,
that's it.
Yeah, this is what we're doing.
Okay, so and then did Bilal ever get him a IKWF title?
Yeah, I want to say Bilal won 2.
Sincere
won Two. One or two, I want to say.
And then you got 4.
Yeah.
4.
I did. My first year, though, we were supposed to all win together, and I lost. So
you lost?
I lost in the finals.
Because I had the first 5 time Tony Davis on. Then I had Isaiah White. I think he was, 5?
Yeah,
as well.
People I was chasing my whole life.
Yeah, you was chasing both of them guys your whole life. Was that something, you heard a lot about growing up, the Isaiah Whites, Tony Davis?
Isaiah, he was in the room when I was a younger kid.
Oh, so you seen him.
Yeah,
so you seen him.
Dudes that I looked up to. And then Tony Davis, he was just always like, he was somebody Coach Quinn always talked about. He's an NCAA champion. He won pretty much everything.
Right.
So it's people I was just chasing my whole life, them the greats. I wanted to be a great, so.
Definitely understand that. So you lose in the finals when all your brothers won. How did that? Because by you winning all the time, I guess people just knew that, hey, this is a done deal. Maybe that you think that set a little fire to you, maybe.
Yeah, that loss still hurt me to this day. So
wow,
that's a loss that I still kind of think about all the time.
Wow,
so I don't think. I'm still not over that. So I still think about that when I'm training. And I'm going in the finals at any tournament, I'm thinking about that.
You thinking about that?
Yeah,
wow.
That was a big turning point in my career.
Man, it's crazy that you say that. Tony Davis mentioned, a certain loss. Isaiah White, Jerry Abbott, a lot of guys I had on here, Alan Hart, mentioned, how them losses still burn. And I guess that's the fuel to the fire.
Yeah. To
make you guys do what you do. You think so?
I definitely think so. You don't want to feel that feeling again.
Right.
That was dark. That was a bad time for me. Both of my brothers won before me too. I was the last match.
So they won. It didn't go like the way.
No.
Oh, yeah. And then everybody probably thinking you gonna close the deal.
Thought I was gonna close. It was bad.
Oh man. Yeah. So I can see how that still burns. Yeah. But so I guess losing that one, you didn't get it with your brother, so that had a little sentimental value that kind of stuck with you. So you end up knocking 4 down.
High school, yep.
No, I'm talking about IKWF.
Yeah, the next
knocking 4 down the next, and I don't think, again, people really understand how difficult winning the IKWF title is.
Yeah, I think
one division.
I think all my other titles was harder than that one.
Yeah.
Like every other kid I wrestled in the finals was probably tougher than that.
Right.
That one match that I loved.
Yeah. But, Tony kind of mentioned it like one division when we were on the podcast, and I didn't really think of nothing about it because most of the high-level kids that's really good come out of the IKWF, right? So to be able to knock down 4 of them it's a tough feat.
Considering everybody I wrestle IKWF state finals is D1 wrestlers, now they are.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So that lets you know how tough it was. Now, we the fire's burning. We loving wrestling. We got our brothers rocking and rolling. They at high school. What high school were they at?
They went to my big brother originally went to Montini.
Okay.
Then he transferred to TF North.
Okay, he went over there with Izzy for a while.
Yeah, he went with Izzy.
Okay.
And he transferred. He saw a better opportunity with Timmy Springs.
Okay.
And then definitely it was a good opportunity for them. He ended up winning 2 state titles.
2 state titles. Okay.
And then I ended up going there my freshman year. We was all together again, so we had the chance to all win again.
Wow, I remember that. That was a kind of big thing, guys, all on the news and everything. I don't even know if it really, any other brothers across the country ever did anything like that. I don't think that
ever happened. I don't think 3 brothers ever won state together at the same time. Like
wow.
That.
But I think it's some brothers in Georgia, though.
No, they definitely.
It's some brothers in Georgia down there that may catch that. The Mills boys. Shout out to the Mills brothers
my boys.
and Dad. Yeah, them our boys, man. Good crew there. So let's talk about that for a little bit, man. You guys at TF North together. You got another legendary twister, Timmy Springs, state champ. Got a lot of accolades as well. How was that? I mean, how did going into your freshman year, you got your brothers doing very well. You know, I mean, how was it, in the practice room, should I say?
It was good. I mean, I had practice partners around me that was really good at 106. I had Trevor Reed.
Right.
And I had another twister around me. His name's Keon Boyce.
Oh, yeah. I remember Keon. So special talent.
We was rolling in practice, and that was, I think it was pretty good for me. I mean, I was scrapping every day with people who was pretty good and people who, they didn't respect my name as a wrestler. It was just me practice scrapping. So, I mean, it was definitely fun. Then having my brothers around just pushed me, to be in my ear. Me and them big brothers, they was just doing their job, what they supposed to do.
Right. And you get to now, let's go past districts. District, you knocked that out, y'all rolling. You hit regionals. Now, how was that? You have any tough matches in that?
So I had this one dude in my conference who was pretty good. His name was Anthony Schickel, my freshman year. Oh,
Anthony Schickel. Yeah. Wait, what school he went to? I remember that name.
He went to Oak Forest.
Oh, okay.
I want to say his cousin wrestled Sincere also that same year.
Oh, okay.
So me and him was supposed to end up meeting in the state finals too, but he ended up losing. But he was pretty good. He was the number 2 ranked dude at the weight class. So he's in my conference. So we was wrestling we wrestled regionals, sectionals.
Right.
Then we just happened to miss each other at state.
And you clipped them every time?
Yeah, I got them.
Close matches?
I mean, I pretty much controlled the match. I was a freshman. I was young.
Right.
So it was just like 6-1 matches or something like that.
Okay. And then you mentioned he had a cousin or brother?
Yeah, his cousin, Kyle Schickel, who's Sincere. He wrestled like 5 times throughout that season.
Right.
And they was going back and forth, I think. Sincere just happened to get him the last
time,
yeah.
2 times.
Yeah, he met sectionals in state, so he got him when it counted.
Okay. I do remember them that name. Never really knew the wrestlers, though. I do remember that name. You guys were pretty good.
Probably tough.
Yeah. So now you guys get downstate. You're in the finals. You the first match.
Yeah, I was the first one.
First one out the brothers this time. Last time you was the last one. But this time you the first one. Assembly Hall, about 10 to 15,000. You're a former twister. Well, not a former, once you're a twister, always a twister, but twister, how the crowd is.
Yeah, sure.
How you feeling at this point? Any pressure? What you thinking about?
I think at that moment I was just like, hey, don't let history repeat itself.
So that last match was ringing, huh?
Yeah, it was like, hey, you got to get started and get going early and keep going, man.
Right.
I think I was rolling that whole tournament pretty much. I was just, I was wrestling pretty good. So I wasn't really worried too much. It was more so just like my match, man. Sincere match. It was like I had to win 3 matches in the state final. It wasn't just my match. It was like we all had to win or it was going to be, again, it was going to be nothing again. So it was just, I feel like I was ready. Just having Bilal, having my big brother, Sincere, and just knowing that I couldn't lose. I couldn't go out there and start it off bad. They come behind me, so I
got the engine going, got the car started. Okay. Now y'all knock that down. I'm seeing, I'm looking and seeing you guys all on TV, and it's a big thing. And I mean, I know that was a good point. Even I think I seen a clip in all your grandfather, your uncle, and I mean that's very legendary, man. Like I said, it's not too many families that can say they got them many titles, in a state like that in Illinois, man. So that's definitely something that definitely go down in history for a long time. Now, Bilal leaves, right? Get ready to go to college.
Yeah.
You got Sincere, couple more years. How was that? Was it a little bit different going into your next year?
Well, originally, what happened was right after state, I want to say we was pretty much still enjoying the hype, and then COVID came around and it hit. We was pretty much just in the house and just sitting in the house and lifting and, wrestling on a little strip of a wrestling mat in the garage. So I was just like trying to figure out the next move and what, because I've never been a kid to kind of sit out and skip a summer and not. I love competing and I love wrestling, so it's just finding out the next way for me to compete. So kind of sat out that whole summer, and then going into like the fall, started trying to look for tournaments. And now it's like nothing really open, and so I kind of was like come to Texas. I think originally we was gonna do a duel, right? And then we did the duel, and I think I just liked it out here. I liked the training. I liked everything about, just being out here, and y'all had a season out here. So it was like, hey, we got to make the best decision for myself to go compete and, put myself in a position to, go to college and, take to the next level.
And you mentioned, coming out here. You said you liked the training and everything. I having you, around that time, it was very, very good. I think you, of course, took the room up a little bit, but even with Donny, my son, you guys took y'all guys was always cool, but that y'all really, was training and working hard. I really seen, a switch, and I really would have loved to see you guys compete nationally. Yeah. With that team, you had rank cards, pretty good wrestler. You had Jaden Tulane's pretty good wrestler, Max Soto, yourself, Sincere, Donny. That was
we had a squad.
That was a tough team, So, I can say you mentioned the training, having Coach Dunn and a couple other coaches, around at the time as well, putting in some work. Now, knockdown. Did you have any? We had a short season, if you call that.
We had a short season. It was pushed back though too, so it kind of went into like the spring a little bit. I want to say it kind of stopped me from making a real team that.
You was looking to make that world team. That kind of hurt you, huh? Yeah. So, you. People think come down here in Texas is like it's just some easy competition.
No. A lot of people don't even realize the only overtime match I ever had at state was in Texas.
Yeah. So who did you have?
I wrestled Noah Gotchberg in the semifinals.
Bad boy, man. Yeah, people, one of underrated wrestlers. Tough dude, man. Yeah. Tough dude. Donny had some legendary matches with him, man. His dad, him used to come up and just all the way from San Antonio area or whatever, and coming up to Dallas just to wrestle a local against us, man. They was real serious about wrestling. A tough kid, man. Tough kid. Yep. And I remember all you guys had tough matches, man. Yeah, I think that it was gunning for y'all. Then Sincere had an overtime. Donny losing with about 15 seconds left. I was like, whoa, wait a minute. But again, that's just a testimony to what everybody thought about you guys, because they brought their best at you guys. And that was it was pretty good to see, nobody didn't lay down for you guys. They came and,
definitely,
scrap, So now, Sincere, get ready to go to school. He got recruited, North Carolina. Now you have the option to stay in Texas or go back to Illinois. You decided to go back to Illinois. Why was that?
I think the training situation has changed a little bit. A big reason, like you said, Donny played a big factor into me coming to Texas. Staying Sincere, going to college, Donny going to college, Jaden Tulane's going to school. So it was like, I'm not really going to have the training situation that I need here. And not that I could go home and go get this training situation, but I could go home and be with my family and do the same thing that I'm going to do here.
Right. So why be away from your family?
Yeah.
Right. So you go over, what school did you go to?
I went to Rich Township. It's a school down the street from my house in Park Forest.
Right. So you just stayed local, huh?
Yeah, Olympia Fields.
And who was the coaches over there?
Alexander Pale, and then my personal coach, who was coach on staff also, his name was Mark Duda.
Okay.
He was a state finalist. Actually, it was kind of funny. He wrestled Chris Williams a lot in high school. Like, they was going back and forth. They was like wrestling state finals and stuff against each other. So he was a name that I always heard, but I never knew his face and who he was till I was just walking around school, and he like, I'm Mark Duda. You should talk to your coach. Get me on the staff here. So it was like, it was a super genuine situation and moment where I just kind of bumped into this guy in school, this computer tech guy, and he happened to be Mark Duda, and this is the guy that's gonna help me get to where I need to be.
So he became an intricate part in what you were doing, the training and everything.
Yeah, huge part.
He was rolling with you then.
He was rolling when we going to tournaments together. We were training together. He picking me up to go do extra workouts. So,
and we talking about you. This you didn't go there because he was there.
I didn't go there because
you didn't know he was there.
I didn't know he was there at all.
Wow, how God works, man. Then he just bumped into you. Say, hey, you should get me on the staff.
Yeah.
Wow. And then he played an intricate part.
Played a role for the next 2. I still talk to him though. Like, to this day, he still called me, check up on me.
Wow.
We got a real relationship, like deeper than wrestling. And I mean, it's just a guy that I really appreciate a lot.
That's that. I mean, like I said, man, when you doing what you're supposed to do, and good things, tend to find a way to you. And that's a perfect example. Just walked up to you, and you don't know how you really gonna get to, doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
And this just dropped in your lap.
That was the crazy part. It was just like, originally I was supposed to go to HF, and it didn't end up working out. I ain't really I didn't live out there, but it wasn't like a place that I could get to every day and stuff. It just didn't work out. And then when I went there, I'm like, I don't know how this is gonna work. But
you're just gonna make it work.
Yeah, it's like, I don't got no training. That's not a wrestling school, so it's not no training partners. It's not. They didn't even have a wrestling room there. We pulled out the wrestling room in the back gym.
Wow.
We put the wrestling mats down after practice, roll them back up. And kids in their PE class sitting on the mats, and they got food on the mats and all types of stuff.
Oh, wow.
So it's one of them type situations where, we really had to make it happen on our own. It wasn't no resources other than what we made for ourselves.
But come to find out, if it would have been any situation that you could have wanted, it would have been something like that anyway. So if you would have knew a Mark Duda and knew how y'all relationship would have been, that's something you would have drove to anyway, and you just happened to drop in your lap. Wow. That's awesome, man. Like I said, God is something else. Like I said, you're doing what you're supposed to do, and these are the things that happen. I try to tell my kids this all the time, that, just keep doing what you're doing, and good things gonna come. Perfect example. So he was so much of an intricate part. Y'all, you went to Ironman. If anybody don't know about Ironman, that's one of the toughest, if not the toughest high school tournament during the season at that time.
Yep.
You go to Ironman. What happened?
We go to Ironman. It's literally me and him at Ironman. Me, him, my dad, Pale. So it's not like no team. Everybody else, no team. Yeah, just us. This is team. And I put together a good tournament. I mean, I think I went into the tournament number 1 seed, so I knew that I was supposed to win that tournament.
Okay.
Like, coming in, I think I was coming off the Fargo title still.
Oh, so right. So after you left Texas,
that's
did
Fargo, yeah.
And you did the run in Fargo.
Yeah.
Who did you have let's rewind that. Who did you have in the finals at Fargo?
I wrestled Emilio Isaguirre, a kid from Arizona.
Okay.
He go to Arizona State now.
Okay.
He's solid, tough.
Mm-hmm. And we got the job done with him.
Yeah. I wrestled that tournament, going into that tournament though, I was like unranked or something. Like, I was going into that tournament
with a chip on your shoulder.
Yeah, and nobody expected me to win. I was running through a gauntlet, definitely. Like, nobody.
Who's some of the names you had?
I wrestled like Zeke Seltzer, McNeils, Kyron Butler, really some really good dudes. I want to say all of them is D1 now. So
Right.
it wasn't
No scrubs.
Yeah, no scrubs. Every match was like hard. Like my second match, I want to say I wrestled that kid in the first round of NCAAs this year. So
Wow. So it was one of those.
yeah, it was like tough.
Okay. And we get through that, we feeling good, get our hand raised, come off Fargo, going to the Ironman, knock that down. So now you're making a name for yourself. How is it looking now? How you feeling about the sport at this time after junior year Ironman? What you looking at now? Eyes on state title?
It's actually funny a little bit. I think after that Fargo title, I kind of like took a little layoff and I kind of got depressed just because I wasn't getting the training and stuff that I kind of wanted. And like when I went to Rich Township, I was originally like, I'm like, dang, I don't want to be here. Like, it's not productive to what I really want to do. And my brothers is gone, so everything kind of coming down on me at once. And then it just kind of fell into the right place at the right time. And I'll just play it out in my favor, thanks to God.
Yeah. So senior year, did we go back to Ironman?
Yeah, I went back. Yeah, they kind of got down on me though. It was a bad.
So what happened?
I was in the semis, which I kind of messed up myself. I was up 4-0 in the third period.
Okay.
And kid he had a good comeback. I wrestled Brandon Cannon.
Tough dude.
Yeah, he tough. He had a good season last year in college.
What university he at?
He at Ohio State.
Oh, okay. Real deal.
Yeah, no, he definitely real good. At the time though, I'm like, this dude a scrub. Like, I don't know why I'm letting him come back.
Right.
He took me down. I want to say he took me down like twice or 3 times in the last period to push it to overtime. And then I had hit him with a blast double, and he rolled, and I came out, had the leg in, and the power half, and they didn't give me no 2. They said I was on my hip, but
wow.
It was one of them calls. It was real questionable, and then they kind of let him wrestle out of it, and he came out on top, and then
he win the match.
That was the match, yeah.
Wow. So you lose that match. Did anything change on you mentally?
Yeah, I think it was just fuel, for the rest of the season. Like you said, everything happened for a reason. I think, God works in mysterious ways. So I think that match just kind of fueled me. It let me know that I was up 4-0. You ain't lose because of skill,
Right.
You lost because of something mentally. You lost because of things you put in your body. So it's just a change. After that, I was wrestling up also that year. I was weighing 138 and I was wrestling 138. So it was definitely tough. So my dad he got on me about nutrition. So we started doing things a lot different. I was eating a lot more. I was eating the right foods.
Right.
Before that tournament, it was I would go days where I just didn't eat food, or before the tournament, I wouldn't eat because I'm nervous. So my dad was just he was forcing nutrition on me throughout the rest of the season. He was like, if you're gonna go 38, you need to feel good. You can't just be wrestling out there and you are already giving up 10, 12 pounds, on a normal day. So that was just the change. Yeah.
Okay. So and I guess that, catapulted you to, different perspective as far as with the sport on the nutrition side and things of that nature. So, I definitely could see that now. We take that loss, we get our mind right. We rolling in the state tournament. How we looking? How we feeling?
I was feeling great in the state. I just knew nobody could touch me. I ain't gonna lie. It was just one of them times where it's just no matter what, it don't matter how close the match is.
Right.
I know they can't score on me. So there's nothing they could do to beat me. It's the only thing I had to do was not slip and fall.
Make a mistake.
Yeah.
And who do you end up having in the state finals that year? You remember?
I wrestled Tyler Guerrero.
Okay. Pretty tough dude.
Yeah, I want to say he go to Indiana now. Pretty good.
And we got that job done now. And how is the recruiting process this time? Because I'm quite sure, you getting a lot of looks after the Fargos and
Yeah. So I want to say going into Ironman my junior year, I committed to North Carolina.
Okay.
Because my older brother was there.
Okay.
Sincere. And then, like, as the year started going on, I started finding out that he wasn't liking it that much.
Okay.
So I didn't want to put myself in that situation if he was going to be leaving or,
Right.
If it was any chance that wasn't the right spot. So I kind of opened up my recruitment process again.
Okay.
Then I looked at Little Rock. Originally, I wasn't looking at Little Rock at all. It was just like I was trying to look at some bigger schools. But
who was reaching out to you?
I'll say like UPenn, your usual schools like Missouri, the big schools. But it was just a lot of the schools that I was thinking of had I had a personal interest, like a connection there or something. I didn't really want to go to school off of just the name or the brand of the school, just because that's not where I was at mentally or what I was thinking. I still don't think you need that to win the NCAA title. It's your skills and things that you possess on your own.
Right. So you open up the recruiting process. Got that going. You ain't going to North Carolina no more. Say, hey, that's not what I'm looking at. How did the Little Rock thing come about? What made Little Rock,
So originally, my oldest brother, he went to Campbell.
Okay.
And then he transferred out of Campbell. He went to Little Rock, and he liked it there. So he kind of convinced me to start looking at Little Rock.
Okay.
I wasn't even.
You weren't even thinking about it.
I wasn't even thinking about it. I started looking there. When I got there, it just felt like the right place to be at. It was like family. It was like I had a close connection with the coaches. Things that they were saying aligned with my goals and my dreams and the things that I thought was important. So I just took a chance and went to Little Rock. And
you mentioned the coaches. And who were the coaches?
Something that I'm leaving out, an instrumental part of me even looking that way, or Bilal looking that way, is Albert White, who was also a Twister legend.
Okay.
He's a
four-time
high school state champ. He went to Oklahoma State. So, he was the big reason that either one of us even thought about going to Little Rock, just because, he's somebody that we looked up to since we was a kid. And,
gotcha.
A name that we always heard our whole life, so.
So you over there with Bilal. You got Albert White. You come in. When did you touch the campus? Right after graduation? What happened?
And then left 2 days later.
2 days later, you was gone.
Senior summer, I was gone. I think I got surgery that summer. So I kind of missed out on the Fargos and the real team trials and stuff. So it was all just really weightlifting, training, and getting ready for the next season. Okay.
So going into your freshman year, you're on campus. How was you outside of the wrestling? How was you, how did you, the social part, the social life, how was it for you at Little Rock?
A lot of people don't realize that the campus at Little Rock is super small, so it's not.
So it's not big.
Yeah, it's not really a big social life. It's outside of wrestling. So for me, it was.
So how big is the school? How many students maybe?
It's probably less than 10,000 on campus.
Oh, okay.
You got kids who live off campus and commute to school and stuff, but it's not. It's definitely not big at all. It's super small.
So it wasn't too much of a social life, too much just wrestling, huh?
No, just wrestling. You got your team, you got friends on the team, but it's not really a big social life outside of the wrestling team. Yeah.
Right. And Arkansas Little Rock area is not, the greatest area. I mean, they had a HBO special when I was coming up called Banging in Little Rock. How did that work? I mean, did you have to stay on campus? I mean, you knew places not to go. And
it's definitely the hood. I'm from the hood a little bit.
Right. So it wasn't too much. You knew how to move around.
Navigate. I'm not going to be in no places that I don't know where I'm at.
Got you.
That was just that, I know to be in my house or at the restaurant room or in class.
I mean, do the staff at Little Rock talk about the community? Do make the students aware?
Honestly, I didn't realize how bad it was till I was really out there.
Right.
I don't think nobody really realized how bad it is anywhere till they really there.
So they really see, they live in there.
Yeah.
Right.
But I don't think it was that bad that it was just like terrible.
Right.
I seen stuff from my
right.
So, it's not bad.
Right. So, now, social life ain't too bad. I guess that works for you, wrestling, school. Anyway, that was more your normal routine, daily, living out in Illinois, in the south suburbs, pretty tough area as well. So you definitely know how to navigate and put yourself, not to put yourself in bad positions. So was it nothing too unfamiliar for you? Now, let's talk about the wrestling part. You coming in as a freshman. Most freshmen struggle. The typical thing is getting off the bottom. You hear that a lot. How was that for you? You hit the wrestling room. First day in the wrestling room, you rolling with these college guys. How were you looking?
I think first day in there, I probably gave up like a takedown.
Takedown or two?
Yeah, but it always been BTA, But I think a big thing for me coming out of high school was I didn't have a lot of practice partners. So when I came to college, it was like I was just excited to have people to grab and roll with. Yeah. So as soon as I had the chance to practice with people, I was excited to get my hands on them. So it wasn't like I was nervous or scared. It was like, y'all better be scared. I ain't scared. So,
well, just the different, approach to wrestling, and the IQ level is, usually superiorly higher, with a college wrestler compared to incoming freshmen. But it don't seem like you stumble too much, like you hear about kids, I'm a coach, and you hear about kids, I get the calls, Coach, I can't get off the bottom.
Yeah.
But you ain't go through that. You didn't, you didn't see any hiccups when you got in the room, how now, I'm quite sure the coaching staff is excited seeing you rolling with these guys. Season starts. You put that Little Rock singlet on. Now, how was you feeling then? You feel you arrived? This is what you always wanted to be? Not Little Rock per se, but on the college stage.
Yeah. I think originally, I wasn't sure 100% if I was going to just wrestle right away or not.
Mm-hmm.
But my coaches was pushing me, and I was skilled enough to be ready to wrestle. That year it wasn't like I need to wait, and I'm glad that I did it because it just showed me that I'm there with everybody in the ring. It's not just the high school level or the college level. It's the whole world. It's like, so I think when I originally put the singlet on, I was just excited to compete, excited to be at that stage that I've been looking to be at my whole life.
Right.
So, when I wrestled that first tournament, I wrestled good. I won. I wrestled Zeke Seltzer in the finals.
Okay.
Again, Tiger
Familiar foe.
Yeah. I won in overtime. It was like, in my head, I felt like it was questionable. It was like, hey, that was too close.
Right.
But it was just a good start. Getting back off injury, off the surgery that I had the previous summer. So I was just ready to hit the ground and run for real after that.
All right, so what tournament did you win?
I won Tiger Style.
Tiger Style.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, knock that down. You guys in the Pac-12?
Yep.
Okay. Now, you got another tough tournament coming up after that tournament. What was that?
After Tiger Style, I want to say the next tough, actual challenge that I had was collegiate duels. I wrestled Vito, I wrestled Evan Frost, I wrestled Santinello.
Wait, let's go back to the Vito match.
Yeah.
Cause I'm in my car coming from one of my tournaments, and I see one of these. I'm on Facebook. I see one of these reels. I'm like, what is going on? Because I know you. I don't really see you. What went on in that match, man? What happened?
We had a tough match. We was scrapping. I think he was kind of surprised a little bit of how scrappy I was with him.
Okay.
That I wasn't really scared of him. So
and this guy at the time, 2-time NCAA champion, right?
Yeah.
And he was a world team member or something like that.
I couldn't even tell you. He probably was, but.
Well, you going at him.
Yeah, I don't care.
And so he wins the match. What was the score?
I'll say it was 4-0.
4-0. He ends the match. What happened though?
He just tried to do a little bit extra at the end. So it was just like, I ain't the type to go for none of that. I don't care who you is. You can be real champ UFC, real champ boxer. I don't care who you is.
You man before you anything type thing.
That.
Right.
So it's just like, if I'm going to lose the match, you're not finna do no extra stuff at the end too, bro.
And you think that was, a little freshman?
Yeah, I think so.
That's what that was, you know. Did you guys ever talk? Did he apologize?
Yeah, actually, we talked. He cool people. He not know. He wasn't. I don't think he meant to.
Right. It was just like little freshman. You made me work a little bit.
Yeah, and we scrapping, and it was a challenge, and it was like, So I don't think he meant no harm. He a good person. So.
Okay. And I see that in that man. Looking from afar. But then you had the Evan Frost match. This guy was ranked out of Iowa State. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Tech fall.
Yeah. When I came to that match, I was just mad.
So you had that. That was after the.
That was after the.
Oh, that was after the Vito match. So you had a little steam going on.
Yeah. I was just a little heated from that match. I was upset with myself. I felt like I could have
did a little bit
more
better
out there.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like I was kind of out there thinking a little bit too much more and not wrestling. So I just was like, I'm gonna go out here and just wrestle.
Let it fly.
Yeah, I still don't think that he better than me. Nobody better than me. So It's just like, just go out there and wrestle, and whatever happens, it's gonna happen.
And did you surprise yourself in that Evan Frost match? Or did you look? What you think about that? Because a lot of people got to talking about you after that match, man.
Yeah, I think I surprised myself a little bit, but it wasn't like anybody who seen me wrestle know that I done did that a million times. So I think it was more so just like they ain't do their homework,
right.
So it was like they wasn't ready for the match. Mm-hmm. I was somebody who nobody really knew about at the time, so they probably just ran over him. And he was having a good season at the time, so
right, very good season. He was what, top 10?
I'm gonna say he was ranked like 8 at the
right, yeah. That was after that. I think all eyes got to be in on you a little bit after that.
Yeah.
Then you had another tough match at that duel. Am I correct?
Yeah, I wrestled Santinello.
Okay, and he's at where? He's in your conference.
He at Pitt.
Oh, okay.
He was at Pitt. I don't know if he's still there.
Oh, okay. And you got that job done. Now you feel, you come off the duels. Coaching staff has to be elated.
Yeah.
A little buzz going around now. Now, how you feeling? You feeling, can't wait to get my hands on the next thing.
Yeah, I was excited for the next match, next tournament. I think I went to Southern Scuffle, which kind of happened. I think my freshman year, I was having moments where I would just have to learn things,
right.
And going in the Scuffle, I was letting my weight get a little bit heavier than needed to be, and the day before, I want to say I had to cut like 6 pounds, just to get down to like 3 pounds over.
Wow.
So it was like after I did that practice, then I had to run that night, and it was just like, then I wrestled the whole day. I wrestled good. Then I had to do it again the next day. It was just like, that's my first 2-day weigh-in, first back-to-back weigh-in. Then I wrestled Serrano in the semis.
Now, is he the one in your conference?
No, that's Romney.
Romney. Okay, I knew you had someone to go. Okay. And Serrano, where was he at?
He go to northern Colorado.
Okay, we take care of that.
No, he beat me that time.
Serrano beat you?
Yeah, he beat me that time.
In the finals or the scuffle?
In the semis.
Yeah. Did you, then you had to battle back?
Yeah.
What'd you end up at?
I wrestled real good on the backside. I think those have been my best matches. So I wrestled I beat Tyler Knox 14-1.
Whoa.
And then in the
out of Stanford.
Yeah. He just All-American.
Wow.
And in the third place match, I beat Blake Borman, kid from Chattanooga. And it was just like majors, like 12-3, like it was big time, good matches.
Right.
And at that moment, I just felt like I was rolling, and I knew like, hey, whatever you're doing now, you're doing it right. You just gotta do everything else on the side right. You gotta eat right. You gotta live right. You gotta keep the same routine with everything. Like you can't change stuff up.
Right.
You can't skip out on rehab or nothing. Like everything got to be in order. So and then
just discipline.
Yeah. Then I start rolling after that.
Now, so get by these tournaments. You got conference championships, Pac-12s. Excited to get in there?
Definitely. I think going into it, I was nervous a little bit, but it was just like, I think your freshman year is just like, this is a dream. This is something you've been looking for all your life. So it's like everything finally happened. It's like fever dream. So you got to just take in a moment, and you want it to be a good moment. So you got to do everything you can to win.
Right.
Yeah.
So we knock that down. We get the championship done. They get ready to go to true freshmen. Seeded at the NCAAs. What was your seed?
I was seeded 7th.
7th. True freshman seeded top 10 NCAAs. They got you on an All-American status.
Yeah.
Coming in. Now, anything you thinking, any doubts? You mean, how were you mentally going into that?
I think I was pretty confident going into it. I just knew that I was gonna have to wrestle hard, I knew it was gonna be tough matches. I knew I had, you got Vito's, you got Dave Fix, you got Kirkland, you got those good guys. So you're gonna have to wrestle if you want to win.
Right.
So I just had to bring my A game. I just knew it was, time to bring the A game.
Okay. So we where was the NCAAs at this year? That year
is in Kansas City.
Yep. Place packed, man.
Yep.
All you can see is people on top of people.
Yeah, that was the crazy part. It's like getting out there and then like finally stepping on that mat and then like looking around, you hearing all the crowd and stuff like that. Like you don't even know that the wrestling bring this big of a crowd. It's never been like this. It's the biggest. That's the biggest that it get when it comes to the collegiate folk style level. So that was just like crazy to me, that part.
So you first match, who you got?
K Moore.
Oh, K Moore. Old foe, huh?
Oh.
So how you feeling about that?
I was happy when the brackets got drawn out. I was like, all right, bet I'm gonna be able to get back here. And then I was like setting it out. I was like, okay, I lost to this dude, so I'm gonna get this back. Then I'm gonna be able to go through this. I'm like, the whole tournament I'm gonna be able to get losses back the whole time. I'm like, this is perfect. If I'm gonna win, this is the perfect way to win. I'm getting all my losses back then. I'm gonna win. That's what.
So you had lost to K Moore.
Yeah, I lost to him in high school.
Oh, okay. So you is that a match you wanted back?
Yeah, it's a match I wanted back because I felt like when I lost to him, it was like a bogus loss. Like I shouldn't have lost. Like I was just tweaking. I was tripping, bro.
Well, good wrestler.
Yeah, he good.
Yeah.
But he not better than me. I just felt at the time.
Right. So we get past K Moore. What was the score of that match? You remember?
I want to say I beat him like 8-2.
Okay.
Something like that.
Then what's your second match? We feeling good. You get past K.
Yeah, I wrestled Marlon Yarbrough.
Marlon Yarbrough. I remember hearing about this kid on the youth level. Stud, man. Yeah. And where he was at, Virginia?
Virginia.
So you rolling. How's that match going?
He had a tough match, actually. I had took him down. He got escaped, and he took me down. Then I got escaped. A tied match on save. Then I chose down. I got escaped, and I was up 1. And then something happened to where they hit me for stalling in the last minute.
Okay.
And I went down by a point. And then I was just like, I know I got to score. Like, I'm going to go get one, man. He kind of let me get my hands locked a little bit. I was like, yeah, I'm taking it. This the chance right now. Right. I'm going to win. It's going to be right here. So I got it. I took him down. I got some back points. And I just felt good. That was that was one of the moments.
One of the moments.
Good, yeah.
Then ESPN jump on you in the tunnel. I mean, how was you feeling about that, man?
It just felt like a dream. Like, this is what I've been watching this happen like my whole life, bro.
Right.
I never been to the NCAA tournament, so that was my first time actually.
So first time competing and first time even being there. Yeah. So the ambience was throwing you off as well.
Yeah.
I mean,
It was like you watch this. It's like you hear it. It's just a feeling that I couldn't even explain. It's just different.
I mean, I remember watching it was like when you run that match, it's like, okay, here come Nasir, and talking heavily about Little Rock, the new program, and all these things. It just seemed like, you had Little Rock on your back, man, and you get past him. What we got next now?
Well, I wrestled Crookham in the quarters. Yeah, that's when I lost. I lost like 4-2, 4-3.
And you had some tough matches with him before, right?
Yeah, I mean, we've been wrestling since I was a kid. I mean, we didn't wrestle in high school at all, but at the youth level, we wrestled a couple times.
A few times.
He always been pretty good. He always been, tough. So,
so we lose to him, and we on the backside.
Yeah.
What we looking like? How we feeling? We down?
I don't know. I be like down on myself in the backside a little bit, but it's just when I don't care and I just open up and wrestle.
Open up a little bit more.
Yeah, so I just wrestle my matches, and I think I kind of just wrestled the matches that I seen at the time. Like my All-American match, it went to overtime, but it was a match that it was never a moment where it looked like I was gonna lose. Like, it was like controlled the whole time. I wrestled Arini same day. I beat him like 6-1.
Okay.
But I was just like ready to wrestle, ready to get that get back. Yeah, right. I was mad that I lost. So it was just like, hey man, you can't lose again. You can't give up the whole season just because.
All right, we got that loss.
Yeah, just a hiccup in the road.
So, where we end up? What place?
I ended up taking 4th. I lost to Crookham again in 3rd.
So you had to wrestle him again on 3rd place.
Lost, yeah.
Okay, and now we all American, man, and then you're hearing all this Little Rock and the coaches getting awards, and you put the program on your back. How you feeling now? You feeling good? First All American Little Rock history, new program, things looking good. A lot of recruits looking like they coming there, and it was seemed like a little buzz going on at Little Rock. Yeah, did you feel that?
Definitely. I mean, I felt the Little Rock buzz. I think people start to kind of look at Little Rock and see that, they started having some success with me and Stephen Little and, some other people, and it started getting a little big.
Okay. So big that old foe that I remember you used to wrestle, Jordan Williams, having some situations over at Oklahoma State. David Taylor comes. Jordan ain't there no more. How did that come about? How did he end up? Because I would see you guys, working out together and things of that nature. Did you call him and say, hey, man, how did that come about?
I think I just me and Jordan always had a relationship. I mean, we always been cool, just off wrestling. I mean, seeing each other, we wrestled as kids. I think even when I was in Texas, me and Donny was trying to get him to come down train with us and stuff. So it wasn't like, we didn't know each other. And I seen him in that situation. I'm like, hey, you got a home somewhere else if you need one, So just let me know. So I think I was just let him know that door is open, if he wanted to. And I think we just kind of formed a relationship, over the time, talking, and he kind of started to trust, what I was saying and me as a person, just because of how I am. With him, I'm real, I'm straightforward. I'm gonna tell him what it is, what I think. So I think we just kind of built that relationship, and he like, I'll go to the Little Rock. I want to see what it's like. It's different. It was different than what he was used to, and he needed to kind of be in a situation where he could change and be different and not just put himself in the same drama that he was in before.
Right. So you guys rolling. How, having Jordan, how did that change for you? I mean,
I think for me, it just gave me somebody else in the room who was thinking like me, somebody who been winning their whole life, somebody who they don't ever go out there thinking they're gonna lose. It's like it just gave me a fire, somebody else who is actually just as good as me, and somebody that I could bounce off of. He close to my weight, close to my size, so it's a little bit different,
Right. So you guys get the season going. How you guys feeling now?
We start the season. I started the season a little bit bad. He didn't start the first half of the season.
Okay.
Because he had some issues with his, transferring and stuff.
Okay.
So he had to wait till the second half.
Bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
So at the second half of the season, we start rolling a little bit. I don't ever think we got into the groove that we thought we should have got in.
Right. Okay.
We wasn't at the point where we should have been. I think we wrestled. It was like good moments. So the year that we wrestled good, like certain trips. I think Pac-12s we wrestled really good. But it never.
Now, so it just wasn't quite clicking. Why you feel it wasn't clicking like you needed to be?
I think in my case, I feel like I kind of was worried about weight a little bit more than I'm used to.
So tough weight cut.
I wouldn't say tough. It was just like something that I had to think about too much. Something that I had to like kind of force on myself. I wasn't as light as I was the previous year, so it was like an actual thing. Like day before weigh-in, I had to get that weight down every time.
Right.
It was different than it was the year before.
All right. So you think that played a part in that season?
I think that played a part in me having so many like ups and downs, and having good matches and bad matches, because it was like if I had a good weight cut, then I could wrestle good, but if I didn't have the best weight cut, then
caught up to you.
It could be different. So it definitely played a role.
Okay, so we get to the NCAAs. How we feeling?
I felt good. And that's one thing throughout the season. I never even when I did take losses or when I had down moments, I never lost track of what I thought I could do. I always thought NCAA title. So even when I'm looking at it, I'm like, this drawn up for me to win this thing. So it was just I was confident. I was ready to go. I think just starting the tournament, that first match, I didn't get to the start that I needed to get. So it kind of threw me out. It threw me off mentally because I wrestled this kid early in the season. This match was way different early in the season. This at a time where I felt like trash. Right. And I'm whooping them like trash. And now I feel like trash and it's a different match. But I'm like, all right, this the NCAAs. You know how that go.
Right.
Then I think just going into the next match, I think I just was a little bit. I wasn't prepared, you know. Like I ain't know who the kid was. You know, I knew that he was gonna be tough just because he is a Big Ten wrestler, but it wasn't like I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready for that that match, that tough match like that.
Now, and why you think you wasn't ready from the X and O standpoint, the physical standpoint? What do you think?
I think just a little bit of both. I think from the X and O standpoint, I think I could have been a little bit more aware on the things that he did. You know, how he was moving, his timing. I mean, I don't think I should have lost that match at all. You know, like that's one of the matches that
burns you.
That you just can't get back. That you know, like that wasn't you out there for real. So I think from that standpoint, I kind of let it get away, and then it was a couple moments in the match where I should have had takedowns that I let them just slip out of them, and you know that take a lot out of you the more you're going through the match, and you know it's the crowd yelling, the crowd in your ear, and then he touched your legs, man. It's crazy. It's like I was fighting, you know, I was fighting everybody. I felt like I was fighting everybody, and it felt like it ain't feel like it was nobody there with me for real. So it was just like, hey, you know. Just one
momentum.
Yeah. And he had the momentum. He had the crowd. He touched my legs like 3 times.
and you heard it, you knew it.
Yeah.
So we lose that match, man, and I'm quite sure you're feeling down. You get on the backside. I mean, not all the way there.
Yeah. I just think, like I said, when I get to the backside, I usually just open up in wrestling, and man, NCAA just didn't click like that this time. You know, it was just like I still like my timing felt off, and I still felt off. Like even I ain't wrestled like the first match on the backside. It was like 1-0. Like it was one of them. I had to fight. I still had to fight. Like I was actually wrestling too. It wasn't like I was just out there BSing. It was like I'm wrestling as hard as I can, and I'm winning 1-0.
Right.
It's like I don't know. I'm like
something ain't clicking.
Yeah, I'm in my head, you know. And then it just felt like my timing was off, you know. I don't know if I prepared the right way for myself, you know.
Right.
So.
Did you? I mean, I'm quite sure you did the similar things you did before. Maybe you think, you know, again, the weight cut, a few other things, maybe X's and O's, and being prepared for those matches. I'm quite sure it played a part. After the NCAAs, how were you feeling?
I was just ready to kind of make the decision that I need for myself. I was bad, you know, that I lost, but I don't think that the decision to enter the transfer portal and kind of explore other options, it wasn't because I lost, you know, it was because, you know, it was things throughout the season, you know, it wasn't like I wasn't having partners in my weight class, you know. It was people at the other weight above me that was getting hurt. So it's like, you know, I don't really have nobody to train with now. You know, I'm training. It's like either I'm training with somebody too small or somebody too big, you know, to where I can't fully lift and return him full force, you know. Or, you know, it's just different things that, you know, I looked at. So I just felt like it was time to kind of explore options and see what I could do for myself.
Right.
And not make make a decision based on relationships, you know, like, because I had a tight relationship with my coaches and my staff, some of the people on the team. So it was just like, I can't waste these next 2 years of eligibility on waiting on something that might not happen, you know.
Right.
Kinda...
So you just basically felt like the situation you had grew from, you know what I mean? So it wasn't a decision to leave Little Rock because of anything bad, any bad taste. It was just like something else. I want to just see what else is out there for me.
It was like, I feel like I came to Little Rock and kind of took a chance on myself, you know, and it's just like, I feel like what I set out to do, I didn't accomplish at Little Rock, but I feel like I did what I need to do at Little Rock.
Right.
I feel like the time, and like when I went to Little Rock, I never had no partners, so just put me in that room with partners. That was what I needed at the time, you know. So now it's just at this point in time, I feel like I need some more. I feel like I need that top them dogs in that room, them dudes who gonna push me every day. So when I do get in them tight matches, them tough matches, prepared. You went through this every day. You know you ready for this. So I think that's just the difference.
Just of it. So you hit the transfer portal. I mean, again, that was like you'd have thought it was kind of like the Luka almost in the wrestling community, man, for a little bit. Like I'm like, what the man, I ain't know that many podcasts was out on wrestling clips. Bailey hits the transfer portal. I mean, to me, you know, I've been watching you ever since you was little. I felt, you know, watching in the NCAAs, I felt also that just I didn't see the click. You know, me and your dad were talking. He asked me straight up, man, what you think about me? I don't know. It wasn't. Yeah. I ain't see the pop like I usually see that. You know, so I definitely could feel you. You know, we get complacent at times. You're getting older. You know, life. You know, experiences when you're older, a little bit different. You know, and you need that something to catch your attention. And I can understand by having that room where you pushing, you know, because I remember, man, you know, having Tony Davis, TJ Williams, Jason Perot, Carmen Bradshaw, you know, a young Sean Jackson in the room, man. I used to have to mentally, as a kid, get prepared to go to practice. I got to go deal with these dudes.
A lot of people don't look at my upbringing. The people that I was around Damari Reed, Vincent Robinson, Keon Boyce, Trevor Reed. You know, every time in practice, every time we went to practice, you was going to scrap hard. Like, it wasn't no practice that you was going to go in there and not give up no takedown, give up nothing. You gonna scrap every time.
Every day. And you gotta get mentally prepared for that. And I think, you know, I understand, you know, like you seeing yourself not prepared and it's hard to get prepared, you know, on that level. You know, and to have to create it, you know, on your own. So you hit the portal. No, the phone I had to be buzzing. How that work? I mean, you get recruited all over again, man. What went on with that? Nasir Bailey, true freshman, in the portal.
Definitely was like, it was stressful, you know.
It was stressful?
Yeah, just because you damn near going through that process all over again. Like, in high school, is real stressful at that time. So it's like, and then it's like at a moment where you like this decision that could be the rest of my career. You know?
Right.
So this the decision that, you know, got to be the right one, the right move, you know. So I was just kind of trying to, originally I was trying to take my time and, you know, look at the options that I had and, you know, see how it all lined up for me.
So, I mean, what schools were you looking at, and what schools would contact you, if you don't mind?
I think obviously the bigger schools, like the Big Ten schools, I was looking at.
Okay. Like who?
Names like Nebraska. You know, they coming out.
Man, they had a run, bro.
Best national championship ever. So probably so.
Yeah, they had a run.
You know. And I like they coaching staff and they wrestlers, so they was pretty good.
Yeah, Mark Manning, old Tony Davis, coach.
Right.
Isaiah White's. No.
Isaiah White.
Isaiah White's coach, right. So you got some linkage there.
I had links there, you know, with the Twisters and stuff, and then also Iowa.
Right.
So it was pretty much between Nebraska and Iowa that I was like
really looking at.
Yeah.
So between Nebraska and Iowa also have some former Twisters.
Yeah.
TJ, Joe Williams. A lot of history right there. You know, you have to be torn almost. You got a James Green.
Yeah.
I mean, great. He's still rolling too.
Yeah.
So that's a partner.
Yeah.
You got, Antrell Taylor.
Yeah.
He's a little bigger, but
I mean, I want to say they had like 8 or 9 All-Americans. So
right. I mean, like
it was good. You know, it was like we was gonna scrap. They got Hardy. You know, they got Van D. So
right.
I mean, I just want to put myself in that position though, where I'm gonna have to scrap every time I'm in practice. You know, every time I go and put my shoes on, I'm gonna have to go to that place where I gotta, gotta train hard. You know, and that's what I like to do that. So
right. So then you look at Iowa, Spencer Lees, Drake Ayala's, DeSanto. Even I don't know who else is there. You got Cullen Shriver, tough dude.
Kel Peterson.
Ryder you guys had Ryder Block. You had some legendary matches with them dudes. So you familiar with them dudes. Yeah. And I know that played a major decision.
Yeah, it was just one of them moments that was just like, God ain't put me in this room for no reason right now. You know, like originally I wasn't thinking of Iowa, and I was never gonna go to Iowa. Like that wasn't my thought when I entered the transfer portal.
No thought of Iowa.
I just happened to be in Iowa, and they contacted me, and it was like, "We want you out here this weekend."
Wait. Yeah. We can't. Wait a minute. So you happen to just be in Iowa.
Yeah.
Iowa called you.
Yeah.
Who called you?
Well, originally Drake texted me, then Morningstar called me after that.
So Drake, the man, texts you himself.
Yeah, he put it together, man.
Man, hey, man, shout out to the Ayala family, man. Real good family, man. Me and the dad, really good friends. You know, Drake and Donny used to have legendary battles coming up.
And that was the crazy part about it. It was like, God ain't putting me in this position for no reason. I was just preparing to go wrestle Drake last week.
Last week.
It's like, and then I was just like, hey, man, this is an opportunity that I need to go look at this and see what it's like at least. Right. I never been to Iowa. I didn't realize how close it was to my house, in Illinois.
How far is it from you?
3 hours from there.
It's a 3-hour drive.
Yeah, so I think all of that kind of played a factor. They got the history with the Twisters. Joe Williams, who's still around, he up there 2-3 days out the week.
Seriously, he's in the room?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it's just like all of those factors, they got everything I would need. They close to home. They got the fan base, the wrestling community out there. It's crazy.
Crazy, right?
It's different than you ever would dream. It's like a professional team,
right?
Like you're not like a wrestler. You're like a basketball player. You feel different. So it's just like everything lined up, And then also they had called. They want Jordan too, so it was just like, one of them deals.
So Jordan is rolling with you.
Yeah.
Black and gold.
Yeah, and that was one of the things. The big thing was we wanted to go to the same school together.
Okay.
Because we was
clicking. So we kind of jumped.
Yeah.
You make the decision to get in the portal. Jordan, did he All-American this year?
No, he didn't.
He fell short too.
Yeah, he lost some blood around.
Okay, so y'all failed y'all in the Chief.
Second time, yeah.
And you got in the portal first. And what did he say?
Well, we kind of did it at the same time. Yeah.
So y'all made the decision together. Y'all talked about it.
But this is something that we've been talked about this. This is like before NCAAs, before all this stuff.
Right.
This is like, we talked about our training and stuff like that because it mattered.
Right.
The next 3-4 years, it mattered. I can't just be getting complacent. It's like I need people to push me around me. We've been had these conversations, so it's just like, hey man, I know a lot of people might not like this, but you gotta do what's best for you, you know.
I mean, how was that? I mean, for you and Jordan, I mean, I guess it would make it easier a little bit because it's you and Jordan, but you had the connection with Albert White.
Yeah.
I mean, Coach Neal, you know, I seen how he gravitated to you, coaching you at the World Team Trials before. I mean, I know that had to be a hard decision.
Yeah.
You know, how did you tell him? I mean,
we had like one of those like those talks, you know, but you know nobody gonna be happy with what's going on. You know, somebody really good leaving a program, you know. So you know, they just kind of told me that they wanted me to be with them. And,
right.
No, I know that would be what that is, you know.
Right.
But I just feel like I need to explore the options, you know, see.
I didn't think about, you know, I know how close your family is. You know what I mean? How y'all tight knit, you know, one rolling, all rolling. Yeah. You know, and being close to home, close to pops. Yeah. You know, especially as far as wrestling wise, you know, getting to come see you, you know, a little more often. You know, I know that probably
I think that was probably
a major, wasn't it?
That was probably the biggest piece. It was just like going to Iowa and being in Iowa and having my dad came on a visit with me. You know, that was like going into this recruiting process. We're gonna do this together this time. Mm-hmm. You know, the first time he kind of let me make my decision on my own. Right. You know, so I wanted to go somewhere where he felt just as confident in the coaches, you know, in training as me. You know, and somewhere where he could be like, you got like y'all got it, like, you know, where he feel actually comfortable with it. Mm-hmm. So I feel like that was the big difference in just knowing that he could get in for practice, he could get in for anything. You know, it's 3-hour drive, so my dad was driving the Little Rock and back. You know, so the Iowa City not gonna be nothing. Yeah. Right. So I think just seeing that, I think the Brands, they built a good relationship with my dad also. Mm-hmm. So I mean, I think that was the big piece. Like,
man, I didn't really, when I looked at it, I didn't really look at, you know, I mean, of course I knew the history as far as what, you know, the Gables of the world, Brands of the world with, you know, a little bit with TJ and Joe. And I didn't really look at how close you were, you know, Joe being there and all these things that really kind of fit a little bit better than the Little Rock situation. You know, you got, you know, Joe Williams that could kind of help you navigate a little bit, no different than you had Albert White to help you navigate, you know, and then you're 3 hours away. And
for me, it's like they had everything and so it was just like everything else was just add on. You know, they had everything I needed, the baseline, but everything else is add on. I think a lot of people think like people go to Iowa, it's just money, but it's definitely like other aspects to why people choose make decisions they make. It's not just a money thing, even though it's definitely money involved, but it's other aspects with that.
Because I mean, even in life, you mean you get a nice job somewhere. Don't mean you're gonna love the. You know, you make a lot of money, don't mean you're going to love the job. Exactly. So it may not even work out, you know, if it's based on money. So, you know, and I know you know, discipline, you know, winning a national title is the goal.
Yeah, that's my thing. In college, I think the national title is the goal.
Right.
We going to I have forever to make money, you know, like, but there's definitely an opportunity that you don't get this. It's only 2 more years to where I could win this national title. So it's like, I want this to happen now. You know, it's like you can't keep waiting around.
And man, like you say, I know you can't, your competitive nature, can't wait to get in a room with the DeSantos of the world and these guys. And like you got them all around your weight too, man. Yeah. So I don't think me personally, I don't think it's a better fit. And I'm quite sure them guys are serious about the sport of wrestling, more serious than any probably other team in the country. So, you know, I'm quite sure they got a lot of respect for you, and I can't wait to, you know, see you running out the tunnel with the black and gold, crowd going crazy. Like I told you, hey, Brands, get my tickets, bro. Get my tickets, bro. I need 2 tickets. I need 2 tickets. I don't know what duel. I don't got to be a Penn State duel, but give me 2 tickets. All right, but I can't wait to see that. I used to watch TJ, man, and coming out of there, watch Joe. I mean, just the electricity in that building, man.
Yeah,
and
it's different.
and I mean, now you committed to Iowa, black and gold, big fan base. Where do you see yourself soon as you touching that campus? What's going on?
I just want to start wrestling. Really, that's it.
That's it, huh?
Yeah, just
get you in the room, huh?
Get in the room. Get ready to start competing. Get ready to move up, go up to 41.
So we moving.
Yeah, definitely.
We moving. I was about to get to that.
Yeah,
I was about to say, well, hey man, that's gonna be a hell of a wrestle off you and Drake Ayala, and I wouldn't think he called you.
Yeah, I don't think he was called. Wrestle off.
So I mean, that was a decision anyway that you was gonna look to move up anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 41 it is.
Yeah.
J Dub at 49.
Yep, back to back. That's gonna be tough.
Then you got
Yeah.
Then not only that, you got Bo Bassett coming in.
Yep.
So that's gonna be another partner.
Yep.
So I mean, all these things were thought about. I'm quite sure.
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, I think it's the biggest thing. I think to keep growing in the sport is to have people around you who also evolving and also growing and who also want to be the best.
Mm-hmm.
Iron sharpens iron. So
I looked at, man. It's funny you say that because I remember. I never, I would always think people wanted to create their own. But when I seen Mark Hall go to Penn State with Bo Nickel, and I remember they legendary matches, man. I'm like, why in the hell would Mark pick Penn State? But that was why.
Yeah.
If I'm a roll with somebody that pushes me consistently. And he got a title and did pretty good, probably because of that. So that was in your back of your mind the whole time. Just, I need these dogs, man.
I mean, you're not gonna duck it. I mean, you're gonna run to if you want to be a national champ, you're gonna run to a dog eventually. So
you might as well make it every day.
Make it every day, and then you used to it. It's just a normal occurrence. It's what you do.
Now, I mean, you got some legendary coaches over there, man, some intense dudes, the Brands brothers. No, when you talk to them and more on the starter staff, how did you feel? I mean, was it a quick connection? Do you feel them guys genuine? I mean, what do you feel?
I definitely had like a quick connection where I felt like they were straightforward with me. They were pretty genuine and how they talked to me, So like even now they still text me and they call and make sure I'm healing up well and make sure I'm eating the right things. Like I think our connection just built off of knowing that they want to win just as much as I want to win.
So that's the bridge. That's bridging the gap. If it is a gap, that's gonna be the bottom line. I want to win. You ain't got to worry about me. And matter of fact, I need a little bit of help. You help me get there. So I definitely see that how disciplined you are. The wrestler they gonna get. And like I said, you got another serious dog over there in Drake Ayala who plays no games. Yeah. So I mean, I'm excited for you, man. And I can't, like I said, get my tickets ready. You gonna get them for sure. Yeah, to see you, man, it's just gonna be something, man, to see you running out of that because I know you deserve that, man. Whatever this sport has to, the chariot that this sport can carry, it don't get no better platform than Iowa. Even with the Penn State, with all the accolades Penn State has, it still don't have that mystique right now as Iowa. And what you done put in this sport of wrestling, man, that I know of, the discipline as a young boy. I tell people the story all the time, man. The teacher ain't do something with you when you was living with me in Texas. The teacher ain't do something, an English teacher. Man, you called that teacher, you emailed that teacher like, hey, man, Big Donny, I don't know, we're going to have a meeting, man. I knew then how disciplined you were. Yeah. And I hope Iowa knows what they getting, man. And like I say, you deserve that, man. You deserve everything that this
Thank
sport
you.
has to offer, man. You know, the work your family put in, you know, and it's just the cherry on top. And I know the job gonna get done, man. And like I said, I can't wait to see it, man. It's gonna bring a little tear to my eyes seeing you running out with that black and gold. Because I know, like I said, man, don't know. A lot of people don't know. They think they know. They look at you and say, "Oh, he's strong. He athletic."
Yeah.
But they don't know the work you put in, the study, and the student that you are. I remember talking to Quinn about you when I brought little Donny down there. He said, "Man, the dude, a student, man, he loved it. You know, even as a little bitty boy, you know, people gravitated to you.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, I remember, you know, even older kids listening to you. You know, so I see, you know, what the love you have for the sport. Even little Isaiah got a little saying, Chavez, if you love it, it loves you back. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that little dude, that resonates with me. He says it all the time. You know, I started to love wrestling. You know, at first I didn't love it, you know. Yeah. So what could I get back from it? Yeah, you know, he said, man, I started loving it, and I started loving me back. You know what I mean? So I see that's what's going on with you, the Mark Duda situation. I don't know if that's his first name. Mark Duda, you drop in. I mean, go to this school. You don't know how that's going to turn out. That's crazy. Then he walk up on you. Not you in Iowa. Not even thinking about Iowa for real. Yeah. That drops in your lap. Yeah. You know what I mean? You weren't thinking too much about Little Rock. I wasn't thinking about I wasn't thinking about Texas. Right. And all these different things so we gotta the common denominator has to be God in that situation. Definitely. And I remember doing duels with you, man, and coaching with your dad. And we always have a saying, man, that I, start to steal. God got your back. He used to always tell you boys that. Yeah. And to see how he got your back right now, man, is like I said, is a testimony to the work you put in, man. And man, though we could talk for hours, we got a few more things, but this book ain't written yet, so we're gonna hold part 2 now for when you win a national title and get to the Olympics, because I know that's the goal. But it was great having you on, man, and thank you. I appreciate you, man, and I know we gonna be seeing a lot, Great having you in Texas too, man. Having you over at Allen, man. Kids loving on you, man, and as you see, you a little rock star this weekend. Yeah. And I'm already getting called by a ton of privates with you already. So when you come back, man, we already got a list of things for you, man. But glad to have you on, man, and thanks for coming on the mat with Off the Whitted. We got a 4-time IKWF champion, 4-time high school state champion, Fargo national champion, Ironman champion, who's #1 participant, true freshman, NCAA All-American. And we're going to leave it right there. I ain't say that first like I do with every other. I didn't do it with Isaiah either, because y'all book is not finished. Yeah. So I'm going to leave it, at the end, because I know we got some more lists to knock down. Yes, sir. Again, thank you for coming on the show, man. Thank you. And thanks for tuning in. Another great episode with Off the Mat with Donny Whitted.